What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Mr. NeverSlowDown here again with another video. Gonna do a full review on this Talaria XXX. I love this damn thing, as you might have seen from my other videos on this bike, and nothing's changed, honestly. This thing is still going strong, hasn't had any issues. It still holds a charge very well, even after, you know, a ton of recharges, I would say. I'm gonna turn right here. I got a turn signal kit that I use when I'm on the road, and it's very nice to have. A little crash. There's been so many damn crashes here in Denver recently. So insane. Let me make sure I'm in the light. Give you a quick rock around. I don't have too many mods on this thing. It's very minimally modded, which I kind of like. I like it to keep it pretty stock. The brakes so far have been really damn nice. I know other people have, you know, like the MX3 and stuff, and the brakes aren't this good. So far, I haven't had to replace the mineral oil on them yet. I did just have to replace the Shimano H03 brake pads on the front. Those were absolutely gone from me probably trying to practice stoppies. But let me show you what the miles are at here. So I believe you hold the top button. Yep, yeah, you hold this top button till you get into this menu right here, and then you go to data, and then you use the mode button to go enter. And looks like I've done almost 1,500 miles, 1,457 miles so far. So yeah, I've definitely ridden this thing a ton. I got this thing like a month after it came out. Looks like my max speed is 48.9 miles an hour. I don't know how much I should believe that, but there you go, guys. I've ridden this thing a ton, so I would say I'm pretty qualified to give you a review on this thing. One thing I haven't done on this thing yet that I do want to do is a track day. You know, it's a go-kart track. You know, definitely not any type of like big track, of course, because this thing only goes 47 miles an hour. Oh shit, I almost fucking ate it right there. God damn. But the nice thing about this thing is, yeah, I can go on the road. Maybe not legally, but I can go on the road with lights and headlight and turn signals. But you can also take it through these trails and no one cares because it's an e-bike. But forgot to mention the mods. The only two things I have are these higher bars right here. These are the Luna bars, and then I also have the Luna foot pegs there. And honestly, incredible mods. You know, not too expensive. I think you know, the bars are like 40-ish. The foot pegs are like 50-ish. And it makes it better, a lot better. You get better placement for your feet. I'm gonna go down there. Your feet definitely stick on a lot better. The stock pads aren't too wide and they don't really grab. The one bad thing about these is, like, if you hit your shin on them or something, it's gonna hurt a lot more. And these bars make it a lot easier to do this because you can pull up on it, and the positioning is really nice on it. I would say it makes you even more comfortable. Hell yeah, let's go, boy. Yeah, you hear that? Everyone loves these damn things. They're that much fun. And these little trails, you can push it. It's like a little mini racetrack on these things, but you gotta be careful. You don't want to hit anyone. But super fun hitting these little trails. But you do gotta be careful because these things go very fast. Come on, let's go, wheelie baby, let's go. Get that balance point, let's go. Yeah guys, it took me 2 pretty rough falls to get the balance point down. So when you're practicing, gear up. For my falls, I've like scratched, you know, the top part of my butt, which that you can't really cover unless you got, you know, some like armored jeans or something. And then my knee, when I looped most recently, and my right leg literally just took all of the impact. It like folded under me, and a knee pad would have definitely helped. One of the most satisfying feelings on this thing is heading to work while everyone's waiting in traffic. You're on the sidewalk popping a wheelie past all the cars that are just waiting in traffic. By far the best feeling on this thing. It's so much fun. You can go anywhere with this thing, anywhere. You know, right now it has the road tires, so off-road it isn't, you know, it isn't good, of course, because you'll slip. But if you put on some knobby tires, some hybrid tires, it would work. Let's go. That control, these things are so damn easy. So damn easy to wheelie. Once you get the hang of it, man, it's a piece of cake. Even with these stock brakes, like right now, you know, a lot of people upgrade the rear brakes or just all brakes just overall. But this has enough stopping power. If you do want more stopping power, all you got to do is upgrade the brake pads, and it does give you more bite and a little bit more feel. But these that come stock on it, not bad at all. Right now I'm running front and rear stock because the front one I used to have the Shimano's, but that one got absolutely destroyed, so I put the stock one back on. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about when I'm on the sidewalk while the cars are all stopped. I do these. My rear brake is squeaking. Hell yeah, boys. Look at that calm wheelie. And yeah, look at that. It has enough power to keep up with cars. It can go slow enough to get on the trails. This thing does everything. Of course, you don't have to pay for gas on this thing. The only maintenance you really got to do is you got to change the rubber belt that connects the engine to the chain to send power to the rear, of course. That you change about every year or so. I haven't had to change it yet. I'm just gonna have it break on me, I guess. One thing, if you live in a hot climate and you hate having a hot bike under you just cooking you alive, you know, some bikes will cook you more than others. Ducati. This thing is nice because of course it barely produces any heat, and the heat it does produce is at the very bottom right here where the motor is, which I've never felt any heat from. Yeah, so this is a very cool riding bike. Very cool. You can chill on this thing. Going 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour the whole day, and you will be chilling. On a motorcycle, that would not be the case. You know, even going 20 or 30 miles an hour, or even 45, 50 on the Ducati, you are getting cooked alive. You have to be going like 60 plus for the wind to kind of, you know, cool the engine and cool your legs. But this, no, this thing is as hot as you would be, you know, normally riding a bicycle. This thing is less because you're not pedaling. Make sure to practice your wheelies somewhere where there's no cars before you start doing this stuff. You better be damn good at doing wheelies by the time you're doing it with cars, because a fuck up here and it could be a very bad day. So practice till you get pretty damn good, and then do it at your own risk. So some of the things, you know, if I had unlimited money and I was gonna, you know, make this bike perfect, what would I do? Well, of course, performance mods, you know, who wouldn't want a faster bike with more power? But for doing wheelies, you don't need any more at all. Of course, you want to learn wheelies with low power. You know, there's no need to learn it with a ton of power, because the best way to learn is to have very little power, and you have to use your technique to get it up. Because anyone can just pull the throttle and it would come up. But having the technique where you load up the front suspension, you pull back on the bars, you know, you hit balance point without a ton of power, just trying to fling you off, is a very good idea. Something on my nose. I got it. All right. So yeah, in terms of mods, you can do the power mods. I would do that if I had unlimited money, which it costs a ton, but honestly too much. Unless if this was like your main form of fun, you know, I wouldn't drop, you know, 4 or 5 grand on performance mods alone, because you could get a new battery, you can get a new controller that manages the battery, you know, can get more out of it. And then the last thing you would upgrade, I believe, is the motor. And that alone is like the cost of the entire bike if you upgrade all those things. So it's kind of a lot. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The next part would be the suspension. Of course, this suspension sucks. You know, this bike is cheap. If they're not gonna give you, you know, nice gold Olin forks, you know, that are you know, beautifully made. But these forks, they do the job. They do the job. They're the D&M forks on these. And I got the D&M rear shock, which is actually pretty damn good on the rear. But yes, one thing I would upgrade would be the suspension. A lot of constriction happening. A good place to practice wheelies is somewhere like this with an uphill. The reason why is the balance point is lower when the grade is steep. So the opposite is true when you're going downhill. You know, the balance point is even more back there, so it's even harder. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a little drag race here. Let's see how fast this thing accelerates to 45. All right, ready, set, go. 1. All right, 41. All right, I gotta hit the brakes. Since I got the stock brakes, I definitely like to brake with both. But of course, be careful. If you hit the rear one too hard, this left one, it's gonna lock up the rear. You can lock up the front too. With these stock pads, it's gonna be a little difficult. But on the front brake, I always use 2 fingers because it can take a lot more without locking up. And then the rear, I just do 1 finger. If you mash it hard enough, you just heard that, I just locked up the rear. I'm not gonna try that with the front because I don't want to fall. Right, gang, well, that is pretty much it for the video here. In one word, should you buy this bike? Absolutely. I told one of my buddies, Colin, who helped me get into riding, get one of these things, and he didn't listen to me. And then I dropped my first video on this, you know, 5 things I like, 5 things I dislike. They got a bunch of views, and right after that, that day, he ordered one, brand new, straight from Lunicycle. He also got a black edition like I did, and he was like, dude, I wish I got it sooner. Right now he has a DRZ 400. He used to have a CBR 600, so that's the type of riding he likes to do. He does like wheelies a lot. He also had a Grom, a stunted out Grom, and he's thinking of getting another one, switching the DRZ for it. So, you know, if you like any of those type of riding styles, you know, sport riding, I like sport riding, you know, track riding, canyon riding. I like doing wheelies specifically because I got this bike. So if you're in those type of bikes and you want a little toy that can have a ton of fun, get yourself a Talaria XXX, or another Talaria, or maybe even a Sur-Ron if you want that those routes. This bike is now having a lot more parts come out for it in terms of like performance mods. So, you know, this one isn't too far off in terms of like the Sur-Ron and for like aftermarket parts and upgrades and stuff like that. And besides, it's completely unique. This thing is, you know, I would say the Talaria, the MX3 and MX4, you know, are pretty similar to the Sur-Ron in a lot of ways. This thing, way different in terms of the way it produces the power, how it feels on the throttle. The geometry, I'm sure, is different. The rear shock is positioned differently. This is more for like road. The other ones are more for like doing jumps, I would say. That rear suspension is more designed to do that. So if you want a road e-bike, this thing is by far the cheapest, the most bang for money, because it can go 47. The range is solid on it. It's better than the Sur-Ron. It has a bigger battery. I believe it weighs only a tiny bit more than the Sur-Ron Lipey, but very little. Right now I'm at regen level 2. I would recommend that if you guys are trying to learn how to wheelie. One of my buddies was like, yeah, try regen level 2, because I had 1, which was like the minimum. It would maybe coast a little bit too much, and it's nice to have the, you know, the throttle respond kind of like a motorcycle, where you let off and it decels. Wheelie. Well guys, that's about it. Thanks for watching the long-term review on this Talaria XXX. Long enough, you know, almost 1,500 miles on this thing. I have been loving it. I wish I got it right when it came out, but I think I got it at the perfect time where they dialed in the suspension. I don't believe they had the DM forks on like the first model. The back seat, if you like put someone on the back there, it would like droop down. So they reinforced it for the second gen models, which was like, you know, right at like a month or 2 after, which is when I got mine. This thing has been a blast. The one thing I would advise is make sure the bolts on your front axle stay there. I've had them come off twice, and that's definitely due to my error. So it's nothing with the bike, it's just you got to torque it down correctly. You got to do it nice and firm, and keep an eye on it. You won't eat it if you lose one, but you know, you never know. So always be checking that everything stays connected. All right guys, well that's it for the video. I really appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Keep following for more videos. I'm gonna be posting a lot more in the next like month or two with the new BMW, more e-bike stuff, and whatever else you guys want. Throw some recommendations down in the comments. Whatever you're looking to see, whatever you want to see, let me know and I will try to accommodate. But other than that, guys, thanks so much. Have a good one. Mr. Never Slow Down out.